welcome back to the Rusty Ferret podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. And also thank you so much to everybody who entered the competition giveaway to win one of Sokanjo's project bags. I'm going to be horrid and put that in the middle of the episode so that you guys have to watch this one. That's what smart people do. So I really hope I have fixed the sound. I've done a heap of testing. I hope I've angled the ring light away from my glasses. I hope we've got this going. The microphone is now directly here. Hopefully I won't smack it. Usually it comes out of the side, so I'm kind of in a shield. So let's see how this goes and we'll wing it. So I never start off with what I'm wearing. So this beast, I'll put a picture in so you can see the feel, because I'm not standing up because the dress I've got on is like one of my scruffy dresses, so I've kind of covered it with knitwear, but it's very comfortable. This is my Roy.G.Biv cardigan by Park Knits. I really enjoyed making this. I took a whole heap of scrap yarn. Sorry, I'm very wheezy today. It might be because I've had my COVID jab and my flu jab at the same time. Maybe I've had sore underpits. My lymph nodes under my COVID arm are a bit tender, so I think I'm just like, my body's run down, therefore I'm wheezing. I think that's the problem. Not that I think the jabs have caused the wheezing. Does that make sense? Get your jabs, guys. If you're entitled to it, please go get it. It works. The science is there. Anyway. So I used, I'm not sure if you can see, but like, this is just like a marl of like loads of different stash yarns. And I can't remember if the original pattern does it, but I tried my best. You'll see it better in a picture because you cannot see on screen here, to match the colours going across so that when my arms are down, the colour on the sleeve matches to the colour on the body. I think that's what I'm trying to do. I think I achieved it, but yeah. I didn't think I liked this cardigan once it was finished because it's very heavy. I think it's like 3 or 4 strands of 4-ply held together I used, and it is a heavy cardigan, and I like cardigans that will cover my stomach, like, so that they close. There's no buttons on this. You could put buttons on it, but the way the neck is, it's just like, it's got this weird, should I lower the camera? Probably. Hang on. Oh, now you can see my microphone. And the yarn balls that I've hidden down there. If you'd like a yarn ball, I have them printed, ready to go. Nobody's bought any. It makes me sad. Okay, so the neck is like, it does like this weird swoop thing and goes straight down like this. But because my body is not straight down and there's lumps, it tends to like gape. So I could put, I don't know, I just didn't think I would like it. But actually, now that it's really cold, I mean, I've had this for over a year now. I love it. It is like a big snuggly blanket to be under. I should have turned my WhatsApp off. Excuse me. Let's try that again. It is like a big snuggly blanket to be under, and I really like that you've got like these kind of balloon sleeves and then the kind of tight cuff, so it means you can like pull your hands in and then like type away like a little typing goblin. But also it means you can like who did that at school? We all did that at school. I used to grab my sleeves, like the little bum holes. Anyway, so cozy. This baby, you saw my minging dress there. This baby here is the Rift Tee by Jacqueline Cieslak, and I knit it in Quince & Co. Split Pea. No, that's a colorway. Quince & Co. Chickadee. And it used to be the colour Split Pea. I bought this. This was my first extravagant yarn buying thing. I bought it from America because you could only get it in America at the time. Quince & Co. also weren't problematic at that point. Or they were, probably. They never, anyway. And it was when it was cheap to post things from America. I made the most humongous, it was a Gudrun Johnston pattern. I can't remember, I'll pop it on the screen. And I will pop a picture of the screen. I made that pattern as my first cardigan pattern. I didn't know anything about swatching. Couldn't figure out why I'd used what I'd bought and had to buy like double again. It's because it's massive. So eventually my mum ripped the cardigan out, and I've got a heap of this yarn. Decided that the split pea colour wasn't good for me, so over-dyed it. On the camera, it looks like there's this really weird... This also makes my boobs look really low down. Really definite colour change. It's not like that in real life. I mean, it is a variegated over-dye. And it must be that one's lighter. That one's darker, but it doesn't... I hope it doesn't look like that when you see me. It doesn't matter. I have enough to make another 4 of these out of the same yarn. I have over-dyed a different colour, so I will be making more of these, because when I went down to Whistlebear, and again, I will talk about that later, I took this and my Amma sweater with me, and we ended up with no power because of Storm Arwen. Thank you. And I wore this and my Amma sweater. I took it as kind of like, oh, it might be cold outside. Not planning on going outside. I'll take it with me. And yeah, wore them the whole time. Because it was cold, because we had no power. Well, I sat in front of the fire, but away from the fire it was cold. We'll discuss that later. So, that was a really long story about what I'm wearing. Thank you for indulging me. So, finished objects. I'm going to show you Mark's Grant's shawl first, because I have blocked it. I have decided to give it to her for Christmas, for no other reason than I can. And yeah, so here it is. She's looking so good, all blocked. Those edges are stunning. And on the reverse side, there it is. The pattern is Bloomin' Brioche by Xandy Peters. Xandy Peters. Xandy, Xandy Peters. And yeah, this was a really complicated knit. However, if you just followed the pattern line by line, which I always recommend you do, don't get overwhelmed by it all. It's actually okay if you know what you're doing with brioche, like as in, it's not beginners. But yeah, if you've done a couple of increases and decreases through brioche, you'll manage this. You will absolutely manage it. Xandy also has some excellent videos that go along with it that are really well explained. They don't speak for ages at the start of the video, which is also really good. They dive right in. So 10 out of 10. I would recommend this. I would recommend giving it a go. Yeah, and give me a shout if you get stuck, and I can pretend I know what I'm doing. Yarn wise, the light grey is Rusty Ferret Doll in Platinum Blonde, and on the other side, I just about to show you, the first colour is Fyberspates Tweed Imp. I can't remember what base it's on. And then the bottom one, which is just beautiful, is Old Maiden Aunt, and it was the Bling Bling colourway for the Tits Out collective. And it is gorgeous with all the purples and oranges and stuff, and it just makes it sparkle because it's got like a copper stellina in it. So yeah, that's that finished. So I need to put a label on it that says that it's Mark's Grant, so that the washing machine at the care home doesn't steal it, and also put on it that it's not to go in the washing machine, because I don't know if care home people know not to wash real stuff. You'd think so, but I don't want to. It's all superwash, so it should be okay. I'm just gonna put it on anyway. Just need to figure out, I can make my sewing machine do letters. One of the reasons I bought it. And so I can like make a wee label. I just don't know where to put it. I don't know if I'll put it like at the side, like you would, you know, like on the inside, but the side, or the back of the neck, but it's reversible. So I think at the side would be better. And do I sewing machine it on, or do I hand stitch it on? These are the things that stop me from doing things. I overthink everything. Anywho, That's not what you're here for. You're not here for my muddled brain. So let's move on to my finished, Diafanía by Camila Larsen. Look at this thing. It is beautiful. I don't have it on because you could see my minging dress underneath it, okay? But this is like a cloud. It is gorgeous. I'm a bit lost for words for it, to be honest. It is so... It does feel like a cloud. So firstly, it's Old Maiden Aunt Cobweb lace in the colour Buttermint. I would recommend this yarn 100%. Even if it's to do something like this, 10 out of 10. I'll explain why it's also more than 10 out of 10 in a minute. I'm going to insert some pictures of it on. Sorry, I'm really sorry that I'm deep wheezing quite a lot again. I haven't done a gauge swatch. I did a gauge swatch, but I didn't do it in the round, so I kind of accepted that I could be off a bit. However, when I calculated how much yarn I would need, I was like at the top end of what I had. Let me show you what I've got left. It took nearly only just over half. I think this is about 100 grams and this is about 80 grams. I don't understand. I have enough kind of to make another one, minus some sleeves, which I might do. I'm so confused. I will do a gauge swatch on the stockinette part just to see if it was me. It's obviously me. So if I could go back and knit it again, like start over with a bit of hindsight, I would go another size up. Not for any other reason than I like baggier clothes. I don't like a negative ease. I like more of a positive ease. This had 2 inches positive ease if it's all to gauge. But I'd like a little bit more. The sleeves are also... I was knitting this in the dark. I did the yoke here, and then I took it. I was onto the body when I went to Whistlebear, and I knit this in the dark. Okay, so when it came to measuring the sleeves, I didn't want to take my clothes off to put it on to measure how long the sleeves should be, right? So I didn't, and I just followed the pattern. So they're like 3/4 length sleeves, which actually is fine because I tend to roll my sleeves up anyway. So I don't hate it. But yeah, that would be my comment, is if you are knitting one of these, maybe check the sleeve length if you prefer a longer sleeve. I'm trying to think what size I did. I think this was the 52-inch bust. No, I know it was the 52-inch bust. It does have more sizes up, which is great. Sadly, it's only available on Ravelry, which is not so great. Yeah. Deep breath. I'm not sighing. I am just trying to get oxygen in my lungs. Yeah. So I'll report back about the gauge. And I might, not right now, in the future, use this to make another one, but actually not put any sleeves on it. So just make it like a wee t-shirt. So I could probably do the size up with the t-shirt sleeves. So that's us. I do really like it. I actually do feel like it could be cropped a little bit more because it's a bit longer. You'll see in the picture it is a bit longer than I thought it would be. So yeah. Exciting. I've just checked my notes. I did the 55-inch bust, so there's definitely not 5 inches positive ease on that jumper, so I've definitely done something wrong with my gauge. I used a 4.5mm needle, and I think the pattern recommends a 5mm needle. However, I am a loose knitter, so I always go down at least a half size, if not a full size. It'll be that. That's what it'll be. Actually, I'm going to measure the gauge while I'm editing this. I'm going to pop it on the screen. So this is what it should have been. This is what mine is. Swatch properly, people. Okay. Okay, just had a breathing break there. I only have one whip on the go at the minute. Yeah. So I decided before I jump into doing the Trolls World Tour gloves, and I think it said the last podcast that I'm keeping my Countess Ablaze love note for Christmas holidays. I wanted to make something for my mum for Christmas. I don't think my mum watches this. Mum, if you're watching this, you need to turn this off now, because you're going to ruin the surprise. I love you dearly, but bye. Are you gone yet? Taggy, make mum go. Good job. If you don't make mum go, I'll set Izzy on you. So we have a bit of an in-joke, me and my mother, about moles. I can't describe it on the internet because it's probably not that funny. So I have cast on. This is Merri Molly by Cinthia Vallet. I got it from Ravelry. I'm not sure if it's available. I will check if it's available off Ravelry. She's adorable. I just look at her little eyes. Oh my god. She looks a bit like a Niffler from Harry Potter, but she is a mole. I just love her so much, sorry. So this is really cool. And I love knitting toys. Because I find their construction really interesting. This one, you cast on at the nose, the tip of the nose. That is where I started. And it's knitting one. You don't seam anything. The only awkward bit was the fingers. So yeah, you start off at the nose and you go onto the face, increase up onto the face, and you do some cool short row shaping onto the shoulders. And then you kind of put your body stitches on hold and you do your arm. And then you end up doing the fingers, but you kind of put the fingers on hold and you just knit that. It's really genius. So if you enjoy a weird, not weird, but like clever construction and you enjoy knitting toys, I recommend this pattern. Also because it's fucking cute, right? So I'm just halfway down her body, I think. I had to rip out a good inch last night because I mixed up the back and the front. Normally you do a row starting with the front around to the back, but I was doing the increase for, I assume, for a little fat butt. You do the increases mostly at the back, so you start the round at the back, which is weird. I don't know, and I got confused and I wasn't good yesterday, so I had to rip that out and start again. Anyway, Merri Molly. I think I'm gonna call her Norma. I just feel like she looks like a Norma. You knit her a little jumper and a little, like, I think it's either a skirt or a dungarees, I'm not quite sure. So cute. So I just went stash diving for this in the hope that I had 4-ply that would work, and I did. I was ready to use some DK, but I actually had 4-ply. So this is Rusty Ferret Masham, which I really don't have a lot left of. And this is the colourway Static. Yes. I need to get more Masham in because this is beautiful. It knits up gorgeously. It's it does have a bit of tooth to it, but like in a soft way. Does that make sense? So that's lovely. That's lovely. I think all of these yarns are Rusty Ferret -1. Yeah. So for the skin colour, and then you put a little nose on, I've used 2 of these mini skeins. These were a mini skein set that I had. It was cloud something. I don't remember. It was different colours of this colour. And then, so for her little jumper, it's like white with a bit of colour work, I think, in it. So the background colour, like the white colour, is going to be Rusty Ferret. And this is the Hoka Hoka colorway. It's red with orange. And I love this one. It wasn't very popular, but it was inspired by my trip to India when I was back at college. Some of the artwork on campus and that, it was a beautiful place. I'd love to go back to India and see all my friends, because I have friends in India. That wasn't relevant. Sorry, I was just thinking about them. Rayhan and everybody. If they're watching, hi guys, I miss you. So for the colour work, part of the colour work, I'm not sure whether to do this, which is Rusty Ferret. That one, it's like blue and dark blue, and then speckles of like magenta. You can't really see that. Or this is Surfing Duck, and I believe it was called Pixie. Wait, I've put the colourway inside. Hang on. A Sparkle Duck, sorry. Kitten. So I really like that. Neon pink. Yeah, so either or. And for her little dress dungarees, I thought this would look cool, which is Easy Knits, who's moving to Lanzarote. John, have a good time. Yeah, he's just called this Pumpkin. Not just called it. It's called Pumpkin. And it's got like a gold stellina in it too. I just thought that'd be really cute. So I'm not sure which colour. I don't know. But she's gonna be super cool. Put it on my microphone. Oh. Would that be creepy if she just sat there with her deflated head? No. So yeah, that's all that I've been working on. Otherwise, yeah, that's it. Okay, shall we move on to the project bag giveaway? I think we should. I have 2 SoCan Joe bags to give away, and we're gonna draw that now. In the last podcast, I had said that you can pick one and I will keep the other one. What I've decided, and I'm going to word this wrong because I already have about 5 times, I'm going to give away both of them. Not because I don't want one, I just feel that I'd like to give both of them away because it would be a nice thing to do and it would make 2 people really happy instead of just one person really happy. And that sounds like it wouldn't make me very happy to have it. That's not what I mean. Joe, that's not what I mean. I just feel that life's been a bit shit just now, and I would like to give them both away. And Joe said that was fine, so thank you again, Joe. If you want one of SoCan Joe's bags, I will link them down below, and you should absolutely do it because they are glorious bags. So, I say so too much, and then you've got SoCan Joe. What are you doing to me? So let's start with the lumberjacks. They are so cool. Lumberjack beavers. And inside there is I've bought a SoCan Joe patch. I'm gonna throw in a fluff ball patch, because can't say I'm not good to you. I really hope you guys get my sense of humor and I don't mean these things. So in the blue bowl, or the blue bag, I have put everybody's names. There was 15 people entered. That maybe doesn't sound like a lot, but I'm really hyped at that. So thank you all for all your subscription, yes, thank you for subscribing because that was the point, but thank you for all your comments. I am going to sit down and respond to them all. I haven't responded to them already because YouTube takes them out of my inbox, and it just keeps my brain straight if the ones I haven't responded to are in my inbox. Does that make sense? It's the same with Instagram. So, I'm gonna... This one. And they are on scrap paper, so... Lorraine Walker. Can you see? Oh, cover my face. Come on. Come on. There we go. Lorraine Walker, you win the lumberjack beavers. So Lorraine, you've won the beaver bag. Woohoo. Can I make an explosion again? I will be in touch to get your delivery details, and I hope you love it and cherish it, and I hope it contains, oops, what did I say about not hitting the microphone? I hope it will hold many happy projects for you. So I'm just going to put this over to the side with your name in it. Okay, so we have dogs with crowns. Love a good dog with crowns. Again, there is a Soak and Joe patch in here, and I will put in a fluff ball patch. So in the pink bowl for the pink bag. Oh yeah, I should prove that there's actually things in there. This one. This is going to Amanda Long. Can you see? Oh, come on. There we go. Amanda Long. So again, you will be getting this in the post. I will be in touch soon. I've run out of things to say. Again, we should do more explosions and things. Woo, yeah. So, in your name goes, and I will be in touch soon. And again, I hope you love it and cherish it. And this dog's name is Frank, okay? So yeah, there we go. Yeah, big shout out to Joe from Soak and Joe for gifting me those bags to give away to you guys. Thank you so much to everybody who left a comment down below. I really genuinely appreciate it. And you can all unsubscribe now. Please don't. Cool. So after that super exciting segment, let's indulge me for a second, do some business promo. I have each colour of the how do I hold this? I have each colour of the yarn bowls printed here. That's a terrible shot. Here. So we have the green. It's a beautiful green. If these aren't the right colour, I will put photos on screen. Silver. These are super shiny. I love them. And red. This is beautiful. This red is more like, it's the same colour now. Yeah, so these, I have 3 of the silver, 2 reds. I just haven't peeled its bottom off. It's got a bottom on it. This is called a raft, so that it supports the overhangs. I haven't popped it off yet. And 1 green, ready to ship on the website. So if you'd like one for before Christmas, they're on the website. They're there to go. The boxes arrived today. I can post them out immediately. They will be sent first class, Royal Mail. They will definitely get here before Christmas UK. If you're outside the UK, hit me up. I can figure it out for you. Yeah, so look at the butts. Look at that butt. Look at that butt. Oh, it's a flat butt. Oh, it's a flat butt. I'm so proud of the flat butts. I think they're, no, you can't see on that one. So I've paused printing of the yarn bowls for now, because I have at least 1 of each colour ready to post, and I can just print 1 when an order comes in, because they take 23 hours to print, which is a long time, but I generally ship things in 24 hours anyway, so that would work. I have a few things I'd like to print for Christmas. I will print those and I will keep them for next time, because they deserve their own show and tell, I think. I am really enjoying working with my 3D printer. I know these are very simple, but I really like simple. I like simple shapes, and I quite like non-fussy. I'd like to figure out why there's a seam. I understand that that's where the layers, each layer starts, but in my brain I think you can do something to stop the seam. But yeah, I'm really happy. I would like to learn more 3D modelling, and I am working on it, but for now I love these. Yeah, so wee Weezy has been having a bit of a break for the last day because he's been working really working really hard. So that's kind of one of the things I've been up to, is messing with my 3D printer. I've also just downloaded a heap of files, not that I've made, to print. We've just talked about that. So let me tell you about, I went to Whistlebear. That was an adventure. So Alice of Whistlebear Farm, Goats, Yarn, and I are working on a project together. And Tess. We love you, Tess. So, Alice had an event with her family at the weekend. Not the weekend past, the weekend before. The weekend that the last podcast was meant to go up. And we had been we were in the talking stages of this project, but Alice hadn't had time to sit down and actually work on designing stuff. So she was needing a farm / mostly dog sitter because they were only going to be away for an evening. Well, a night, overnight. So Alice asked if I would come down to Whistlebear, stay the night / a few days, look after the dogs, and then we could work on our project together, play about with like colours and samples and things, and then I could come back here and crack on and etc. So that was great. Packed up the car, headed down on Friday late morning. I think I got there for about 2-3 o'clock, maybe. Not really taking into consideration that Storm Arwen was coming. Dundee doesn't tend to get affected by storms. It's a city. We're on the side of a hill, because Dundee is on a hill. We've never really lost power for a long time. I do come from somewhere that if there is a storm, the power does regularly go out. Mum has, all the stuff, the camp stoves and etc. in case of a power cut. So I didn't really think about it. On the big LED signboards when I was going down, it said yellow weather warning, blah blah blah, which usually means snow coming. That was fine. Got to the Forth bridges. What's the Forth Road crossing? What is that called? The new bridge? I would still call it the Forth Road Bridge. Whatever. Got to the bridges, and the signs all of a sudden said red weather warning, and I was like, never seen red before. Okay. So it was very windy, but that's okay. I don't enjoy driving in like high wind, but we'll keep going. Hit about the other side of Edinburgh, and the boards were now saying amber. So it had dropped. That was fine. And then it started snowing. I was like, oh my god. And of course, Alice is just across the border, so you've got that weird road where it's single, like, it's like a, not a dual carriageway, what's the word? Just a normal road where you got one on one and one on the other. And then at times it'll split into two at one side and one on the other, and it was just pelting it down with snow. And I was like, oh my god. Well, it was threatening to be snow. That was fine. Got to Alice's, kind of ran into the house. Alice was like basically sat on top of the essay. I was like, doggies, blah blah blah. Great. So we were sat chatting about, and Alice made a hot chocolate, and her hubby came through. He was working from home that day, so Dom came through, and we were just chatting away. And then Dom went to pick up the kids from school. They go to the school quite far away, so they were taking the train home. So Dom wasn't long out, and he phoned to say all the trains were off. So he was going to have to drive to go pick up the kids. So he was away for like 2-3 hours because of the weather. Picked up Tess as well because she was also stranded. So we were just sat, blah blah blah, and then the power dipped, and Alice was like, oh, I'm gonna go dig out some candles in case the power does go off. She'd literally got the candles out and the power went off, and we were like, fuck, okay. So we were sat by candlelight and it was lovely, and it was like, okay, it'll come back on, it's fine. And it didn't come back on. And the wind was picking up. It was just picking up and picking up and picking up and picking up. So got all the fires going. Well, the fires were kind of already going. That was fine. And then eventually the boys came back with Dom. And it was like, don't go outside. Just don't go outside. It's very dangerous. Dom had a text from the power company saying that it would be back on. The power would be back on tomorrow at 8 in the night. So we were like, all right, okay. But we've been using our phones as torches, not really thinking. So our phones had all died, basically. There was no internet. Where they live, you don't really get a great phone signal. But anyway, there was no phone because the phones were dead. So that was fine. So I was like, are you still going away? And she was like, well, it depends on you, really. I was like, well, I'm fine here. The power's going to come on at 8 tomorrow. Like, me and the dogs will just sit by the fire thingy. So that's what we did. They all set off on Saturday, and Audrey and Letty and I just sat by the fire all day. And thankfully they have pretty much a fire or a wood burner in every room, which is great. Not in the bedrooms, but... So yeah, Letty and Audrey and I sat amongst the fire. I knit on my Diafanía, and that was wonderful. It came to 8 o'clock. I'd managed to get a charge off my phone, off my laptop, which was excellent. So I managed to get my friends, Morag and Hannah, to check, because it was like getting closer to 8. Because it was getting closer to 8 at night. There was still no power. So I asked them to check on the website. Was the power coming back on? 10 o'clock the next day. I was like, oh God. So Sunday, they all came home, no power. So that was fine. Monday, I slept till 2 o'clock because I set an alarm on my iPad because it had charge, because it doesn't have internet access, it only has Wi-Fi access. So, but I didn't realise my iPad was in silent mode, because when my phone has got its alarm, it's always on silent and it always rings, but the iPad didn't. So 2:30 I got up. So I ran down, got dressed, ran down. I was like, Alice, I'm so sorry. It's so cool. So we basically just spent the day again yapping and knitting and stoking fires. They've also got an essay, which is like a big aga, but it's it doesn't have to be on all the time. It does heat a little bit of water, which was good for doing the dishes and things. And also it meant you could boil the kettle, we could cook. So we weren't as destitute as what some people had. So 10 o'clock that night came, no power. Tuesday. Tess came over to work. So we worked away in the dining room that has quite a big window. We got a little light, which was great. I skeined yarn and labelled yarn. So if you get a whistle bear skein and it's skeined differently or labelled differently, I'm sorry. The muscle memory of doing my own didn't change. Although I tried really hard. Alice had organised on Wednesday to go to because the power in the local village was on, to go to the local village and charge up laptops. They had a heap of orders that had to go out, so we logged the printer, because we couldn't get the orders downloaded onto the computers. Get them printed because there was no power. Blah blah blah. So we were sat at the village hall, which was really nice and warm, and it had Wi-Fi, and we sat for about half an hour, and Tess was printing stuff off and Alice was doing stuff, and I was like, got this podcast going, hence why it got up late. So we got home and we were working away, and we got a text. I think Dom was working from home. He got a text saying the power was going to be on at 8 that night. I'm sure it said 8 that night. Anyway, so we were still working away and Tess was working away. So yeah, Tuesday, my apologies, Tuesday we went and charged the laptops and that. And power came on. The power came on at like 3. I'm sure it was like 3. And we actually like, I had a little dance in the hall. So we had power that night. So we charged all our phones and I could look at Instagram and oh, it was great. I had a bath because I hadn't washed because there was no hot water. There wasn't enough hot water. Which was fine. I wasn't going anywhere. The boys were more of a priority to get washed because they were going to school. So all in all, we didn't have a chance to work on our project because we needed the power for our computers and machines and things. And but I did have a very relaxing kind of long weekend, not doing anything and knitting in front of the fire with the dogs, and good company, nice food. Alice is a beautiful cook, as is Dom. So thank you, Alice and Dom, for having me and having an extra limb while you were dealing with the wind and things. So yeah, so that was my trip to Whistlebear. It wasn't as planned, but it was maybe just what I needed, I think. I don't know. I mean, that's all the catching up I have to do. As I said earlier, I got my COVID booster and my flu jab on Tuesday. So far, the only side effects are, and I had this the other time, my lymph nodes under my armpit in my oxter are quite tender. I checked the leaflet. It can be a side effect. And my arm's a bit sore kind of here, understandably. Flu arm, all good. And that's usually the one that really kills me the day after. So we're great. What else? I finished the wardrobe. I will insert a video now. It's looking very suave, tidy, organised. I still have to sew something for the back of the door to hold, like, you know, extension cables, etc. Hoover bits. But I like that not everything falls out at you when you go for some toilet roll, which is great. What else? I think that's it. I genuinely think that's everything. So I think that's everything. So I will leave it there, I think. I hope that if you did lose power with Storm Arwen or got any damage, that yous were all okay. If not, I hope everything is fixable. Touch wood. Thank you again so much for 1, for watching, 2, for commenting on last time's podcast, and 3, for just being generally awesome. I do really appreciate it. I saw I'm sorry if my brain's been a bit all over the place in this one. I will try and edit that to make it look a bit less manic. So I'm gonna go, and I think planning to do some shopping, because that's Mark finished for Christmas. He's on holiday. And I'm gonna start Wheezy going. I'm so excited. I may be making some arms for James. It's alright, Mum stopped watching ages ago. Okay, I'm gonna leave you. Peace. Bye. Love for you all. See you in a fortnight. Bye. I looked away when I did that. Bye.